Hey guys, Nicole here with Obscure Reptiles and Caging, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Ackie Monitors. So let's get started. Alright guys, so these are some of our Ackie Monitors. We've got Dart behind me, who's ready to eat as always. We've got some trios ready to go who have been breeding a little bit here and there. No eggs in a little while. We've got some dubias right here. We're just going to feed them. I'm going to talk to you guys about them, answer some questions that we get all of the time on them. These are all red Ackies except for Dart back there. She's a top ender yellow. But we'll go over all the cages. This right here is just some calcium powder. Make sure you're always using calcium powder for these guys. Make sure, if you don't know what their cages are supposed to look like, we have tons of videos. These are 5x2x2s that we built. If possible, go even larger. These guys really will use all of the space. Make sure you have a ton of stuff. Each of these have probably 15 pieces of extra large cork bark. They've got PVC pipes and tubing. They've got snake hides, like the black ones, buried underneath all the substrate. The biggest thing with these guys is because they need such a hot spot, it's kind of difficult to get a good cool spot. So up here, it's kind of hard to see, but I've actually got incubator fans, and that's hooked up to a cold thermostat. So if this side of the enclosure gets above 84 degrees, that'll kick on and blow out through a hole in the top, a little bit of extra heat. There's a probe hanging down in the back, but that maintains a good 160 degree hot spot on that slate rock, and very similar temperatures around it. Try to get big slate rocks so they can all fit up there together if they want to. We've got driftwood. These guys are going to be pretty crazy once they see the bugs. Got water bowls in there. As soon as she sees them, she's going to go pretty crazy. Let's see if I got a little tong. So these ones up here are adults. This is one of our females. It looks like it's tongueless. Shouldn't seem to be too hungry. Probably just doesn't want to. It probably is toothless, and toothless doesn't really enjoy me too much. I've actually got glass food dishes. That way they can see the food. It makes it a little bit easier for them. Except for Dart, she sees everything, so we're going to give her some food. Maybe I'll bring you guys over here to see her. Can you guys see? I don't want to be right in the way, but I probably will be. See if I can bring her over that way, but she's going to want to come. Normally I feed them in the same spot so they kind of know where to go. These are not an animal you really want to hand feed like with your hands, because if they think you have the food, they will try to grab it. So she lives alone, and she is not very happy with the fact that she doesn't get all she can eat food anymore because we don't breed her. She would like all you can eat food. Make sure you can see the guys down here. So with these guys, especially with these groups, she doesn't have quite as much stuff as everybody else because she's by herself, but down here, kind of in the back, you can see the hides that we have. These are actually lay boxes. She gets one too just because it holds the proper basking spot. Not sure if you'd be able to see. There's someone in a tube, a male right here, and another female on the way back. But we keep the lay boxes nice and humid and right under the heat, so they are encouraged to have their eggs in there. See if they come over for it. These guys might come over with some tongs too. Really, Dart's the only one that really enjoys me because she knows I bring the food. These guys don't seem to like me quite as much. That'll take one. Throw one over there. Now these guys are a species that only eat every couple of days. I've heard some people do it once a week. Some do it every couple of days. We tend to do it 2 to 3 times a week, depending on who's in there, what they're doing. These are just dubias, so this is pretty much as healthy as you can get. We do crickets when we have them available. We'll do like an entire box of 1,000. We'll split between the 4 of them, the 4 different cages. Things like this. This is from like a pet store that had been like treated. It's gonna go into one of these cages here soon. There you go. These are the younger ones, but I actually just saw them trying to breed, but it was 2 females trying to breed. So they're still trying to figure it out. There you go. There, the dubias. You guys who know me know I don't particularly, that's all of it. You ate it. I don't particularly enjoy bugs, but gotta do what we gotta do. It was not very good at hunting. There it goes. So we put them in the bowls. You can just dump them in the cage, but they're gonna pretty much get all over. Plus, I just think it's a little bit easier because they're still gonna crawl out. They're still gonna knock them out. It just kind of maintains them a little bit. Normally, when you lift up water bowls and stuff, you're gonna find some dubias whenever you're feeding them. Hopefully you can see them trying to eat. The ones on top still haven't really noticed it. I just fed them ground turkey a couple of days ago, but because it's about to be New Year's and we're going to be super busy here in the next few days, I figured I'd get them nice and full. But you got to really watch these guys, even if you're not feeding them every single day. If you have males and females together, they could be laying eggs at any time. And if you see, we'll zoom in on that lay box. They were clear, but because of how much dirt these guys like to throw all over the place, they make them dirty super, super quick. Some of them are going to eat. Like, you can see how dirty the sides, even the glass, but mostly like up in there on the sides. That's because they love to run through their water, and then they run up all on the sides of the glass and everything. This little princess is the best. She doesn't really do that, but most of them will. They're going to get everything super dirty, which makes it a little bit hard to be able to see. He went up on the basking spot. It's one of the males from that enclosure. But again, everyone ate ground turkey with some calcium in it 2-3 days ago. So they're not super crazy about the dubias. Some of the females are hiding. They're probably waiting for the males to leave so they can get some food too. But with these lay boxes, it's kind of hard to see in. Whatever you use, you really got to watch. If you see anyone in there digging, don't bother them. Don't mess with them. And we've got entire breeding videos if you guys are interested in actually breeding. But this is really it when it comes to care. You got to feed them like you saw with Dart. They are incredibly food aggressive if they really want that bug that you've got. So I wouldn't use your hand, but a nice little set of tongs. You can get them to come out onto your arm sometimes that way. It's a great way to show them that you're, not there to harm them. They're very smart animals. So that's why I like to sit here on a lot of my videos, let them see me, hear me. I interact with them. Even ones like Cutthroat, which is the big male up there, he came from someone who, it was very obvious that he was never handled whatsoever. He still doesn't particularly love me, but he totally tolerates me. I can pick him up, we can feed him, he's not aggressive. He used to tail whip the glass, which is very loud with their very spiny tail. But these guys are awesome, awesome pets. I think they're fantastic for display. When they're younger, they hide most of the time. You got to be aware of that. Like these babies, there's actually the smallest one down here. There's 4 of them. I can see 1, 2, and a head poke in there. But it's very rare, unless they're very hungry, that you'll see all 4 at the exact same time, which is totally okay. As they get older, they get a lot more confident. Most of them do. Like he's out right on his basking area. There's a female there, but then there's another female somewhere we haven't even seen yet. Same with the cage up here. So keep in mind, they can be fantastic display animals when they want to, once they've built confidence. If they're hungry, that's a great motivator, but their cages you can really do just about anything with. Like I said, tons of cork bark. I just buy the huge extra large boxes. And when you're also watching them, like you can see right now, hopefully you can see the male's interacting with the female. He's checking her out. He probably wants to breed and she just wants some food, so she's trying to hide from him a little bit, but they shouldn't be outright aggressive towards each other. No one should be hurting each other. He's just looking at her. She's cautiously going around him. But you got to make sure you're also maintaining, especially if you have multiple in a cage, what everyone's doing, how they're all interacting together. You don't want them to hurt each other. If you've misgendered any and you've got two males fighting, two females fighting, especially two males. But like I said earlier, I saw two females breeding in there, and that's normally a show of dominance. But it's great to keep an eye on them. We got Dart up here digging a hole, making a bunch of noises. She's hunting. She actually found one of the dubias she had lost. But it's great to be able to give them a lot of space to be able to move around, to hide. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick little video. If you have questions about Ackies, feel free to shoot me a message. We've got tons of videos on it. We've had quite a few people asking about babies, and as of right now we don't have eggs. When we do have eggs, it takes anywhere to up to 120, 150 days to hatch, so it'll be quite a while once we do have eggs, but when we do, we'll make sure we post it. We'll make sure we make them available for deposits. I know people are looking for some. The reason why it's so difficult to breed is they breed when they want. There's nothing to encourage them. There's little slight things you could do, but they breed when they want, and they could breed any time of the year. And once they actually breed, it only takes about 20-25 days to get eggs. So if, let's say, you're feeding them once a week, twice a week, that means you have a very limited time to actually see the breeding, because that can happen within a few hours, within 2 days. But if you absolutely miss that and you don't see any of the little signs that they can do, like females will bask a lot, which none of them really are. They get pretty plump, but that could mean she just had a lot of the ground turkey a couple of days ago. It's very difficult to notice, and once they've laid the eggs, the other Ackies can and will dig them up and eat them. Or they can go bad if you don't get them right away. So there's a very thin line between keeping an eye on them, don't bother them too much, feed them well, look for breeding, and then when they actually have eggs, know that they've had eggs. Like I said, we have whole breeding videos, really good signs quickly for your Ackies. Like I said, the female's going to bask a lot, she's going to be super hungry, she's going to get super plump, she's going to go into that lay box for a couple of days beforehand, kind of digging around, especially at night. She'll be in there for 24 or 48 hours when she's actually laying, so you got to kind of look for it. And then she comes out, and sometimes if they had a lot of eggs, they come out real flat, like a pancake flat. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they come out, you feed them the next day, and you don't even notice because they didn't really even shrink that much, or they spent very limited time in the basking area. So if you think you're missing anything with them, I highly recommend setting up a camera. We've got one of these little security cameras up here, just to keep an eye in the room if we ever lost anything. So, you know, we keep an eye on the place. Sometimes we'll move that so we can look into the Ackie enclosures, make sure that they're breeding, or if they're not. But there's a quick little video on Ackies for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We do new videos every single week. So I'll see you guys in the next video.